We're going to try out the 3D printed, these basically small lipped kind of crankbait here. Just right before a storm's coming in, and pretty close to dusk as well, so I have a feeling this could be a pretty good time to be trying this thing out. So I just got them back from being painted, and they look really good. I'm impressed with them, and we're gonna try them out, check out the action, and see if it's worth something to make or to print off, and see if it's worth printing off and getting painted. You guys can see that it's got some nice wobble to it. I was gonna throw it on my bait caster, but it's a little light. End up with some nasty backlashes, so I went with the spinning reel. More or less, even if I don't catch a fish on this thing, it's more about, how does it swim, how does it look, the action, and I think the action is pretty good. We could try another spot, be able to see it a little better here. It might be a little bit closer to the water. When I was assembling it, it was quite a pain to get everything to line up. I'm trying to think, it was what, 3 or 4 clamps I had to use to keep this thing together while the glue was drying, the epoxy that I used, because I kind of did a clamp on the front, the back, and then also on the lip to keep there goes something. Get some of these weeds off here. And yeah, it was tough. It was kind of tough, almost to the point of being a little frustrating to get everything lined up. Oh, there's a little turtle. For this particular lure, I was doing a faster print, so the quality was a bit lower, and that might had to do with the issues with assembly, that the lure wouldn't come together, because it was 2 pieces. Oh, I got something. Oh. And when I put them together, they just did not, didn't really fit too well. So I'm sitting there filing it and kind of fine tuning it. But if you do a higher quality print, which is going to take you longer to make, but you might get a little bit better results. But the way I did it, it did take some time to get this thing prepped, to have everything line up, get it clamped, get it glued. You got to put the through wire in the lure. That has to be form fitted, so it fits exactly in there. Yeah, look, that does look pretty good. So I am happy with it. So I mean, you can, if you have a 3D printer, you print a couple of these off. You get them prepped, you get them glued. You're gonna need a lot of clamps, I'll tell you that. But and then you just find yourself somebody that does some airbrushing, or you can do it yourself. I dabbled in it a little bit, but it does my painting is not the best, but this guy that paints mine up does a really good job. And yeah, just go on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, find yourself a couple painters, and find one that'll paint a few up for you. You get a couple lures printed out, prepped, and then I'm sure they'd probably paint them up for you for a few bucks a lure, and you got yourself some nice lures to try out. And I mean, it's just crazy that you can go from nothing to a full out fishable lure that you can print off at home. Like that is just crazy. But like I said, you know, this ain't all about catching, you know, the fish. It's about, you know, testing the baits and just, you know, seeing if it's worth printing. And I mean, my overall opinion is I would definitely, you know, I think it's worth printing. It will take some finagling to assemble it. There we go. Nice. Oh, I just got one. Holy shit. This thing just hit a top water. Double header. All right, there we go. First one on the 3D printed small lipped crankbait here. And I just had it sitting there, and then he hit it right off the top. That is pretty awesome. All right. Sweet. All right, we'll get him back. So it's proven to work now. So, all right. Let's see if I can get it. See, buddy. I switched over to the other bait here. I casted it a few times already with the camera off. I thought it was on, and as you guys can see, that this thing is not swimming very good at all. What I was explaining before is that this one, I believe, has more weight in it. This one does sink when I let it sit there. The other one does not, so I guess that would lead me to believe that this one is heavier. And oh, nice, another one. Like, just not even, it's not even worth casting at this point. I'm gonna switch back over to the other one. Yeah, as I do just a regular retrieve, it just keeps coming to the top. Just I don't know if that's just unbalanced or what. Another option maybe would be to put a split shot on it so it would stay down potentially, and that might fix the problem. But I don't know if it would, because it's still tilting. Like at a certain speed, it just it flies to the side and it pops right up. Yeah. How much different could it be, you know, shape-wise, you know, to make that big of a difference of the action? So, like I said before, I would lead me to believe that the weight has a big factor in that. Yeah, world of difference. That lure stays down. Action looks good. You know, just a nice steady retrieve, and that, you know, you're getting the action you want. Pretty tight wobble. You can jerk it a little bit, and it does not pop up like the other one. And surprisingly enough, that this one's lighter, that you can see, it floats. It's sitting right on top, and that has the better action of the heavier one. All right, well, that's about it. Got some nasty tangle, and the rain's starting to come down. Here they are, the 3D printed fishing lures. These are not my design. I was testing the design out that was on Thingiverse. You can get everything you need to make this exact lure in the description below, which will link you to Thingiverse. This one, he actually calls it a topwater fishing lure. More or less, I think it's like a small lipped, like jerk bait or stick bait. But yeah, I think it worked. This one worked very well. I liked the action on it. It looked good, nice tight wobble. You know, you could give it a little dangle to give it a little more action. This one did not swim very well. It sank, and then when you tried to retrieve it, it would go like this, and then it would like float to the top sideways. So if you do make this, I would recommend you know, experimenting with the weight. You can put beads in them up to 5, and I think this one has 5 in it. This one's sank. I would recommend trying 3 or 4 beads, and I think that's where it sits right on the surface, and that worked really well. I did end up catching a lure on this one, so pretty excited about that. Had a successful test. Like I said before, a little frustrating kind of putting these together, but that all has to do with the quality of your print, and then, you know, just gluing it, epoxying it, you know, getting the inline, the through wire into it, and then clamping it all down, and then getting them painted. But yeah, it was still a fun project, and I think it's worth it, you know, if you want to just do a little bit of finagling, you know, a little bit of a challenge, and they do look pretty good. I will also be doing a giveaway for this 3D printed lure. This is the one I caught the bass on, and if all you have to do is comment on this video in the comment section of what 3D printed fishing related product you would like to see next being made, built, and tested. And also, to be qualified, there'll be a link in the description to sign up for the first Fishing Friday newsletter. Take you 5 seconds to sign up. I think you guys will really like that. But yeah, I will pick one winner that will get this, and I will ship it off to you so you can have your own 3D printed lure. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, like it, share it. Much appreciated. And we'll see you in the next video.
Oh, I just got one.